Dunedin TV presents your local weekly morning show from delightfully different Dunedin. Featuring Justin Cataccio with Caitlin Hart. Including a musical performance by a local artist, an in-depth conversation with people in the know. This is Good Morning Dunedin.
This week on Good Morning Dunedin, welcome to City Hall. Today we learn about the history of Dunedin City Hall, home to the Gus Cooper studio where Dunedin TV produces Good Morning Dunedin every week. Commissioner Moe Freaney joins us in the studio to talk about the past, current, and future goals for this historic building. Artist Stoney Lawrentz joins us in the Art Corner to talk about her photographs featured in the City Hall Chamber rotating exhibit. We take a tour of the Dunedin City Hall Chamber to learn about the City Commission meetings and how you can get more involved. Lastly, Ray Gurka performs an acoustic original live from Pioneer Park. All of this and more is coming up this morning on
Good Morning Dunedin.
Welcome to this special episode of Good Morning Dunedin, where we're going to give you a tour and a history of Dunedin City Hall. First stop on the tour is right outside, where we have the grand old oak tree. This tree is over 100 years old, and live oaks can live up to be 400 years old. And we love our trees here in Dunedin. Dunedin is a tree city, USA. All right, so we ask that people don masks when they enter City Hall and have their temperature checked and sanitize their hand. So let's go on inside.
Here, we have a photo of our current mayor, Julie Ward-Bajowski. Later in the show, we will go into the chamber and see the wall of Dunedin's past mayors to see that Mayor Julie Bajowski is not the only woman among the mayors of Dunedin.
All right, so here in the lobby, we've got some trophies and some periodicals and maps that are available to the public. So we're gonna go into the Gus Cooper studio, where Seth Walker, our technical director, is busy at work. Say hi, Seth.
Good morning, Dunedin.
A lot of buttons and monitors in here. This is where all the magic happens. Let's head on into the Dunedin TV studios, where we film Good Morning Dunedin live here every week. All right, go ahead and take our chairs and lose our masks. Good morning, Dunedin. Welcome back to your favorite little local morning show. I'm your host, Justin Cataccio, and I'm here with my co-host, Caitlin Hart. Good morning, Caitlin.
Good morning, Justin.
So thank you all for tuning in this morning, whether on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or on our local Dunedin TV cable channels 15 and 639. However you found us this morning, thanks for watching your favorite little local morning show. All right, so let's talk epic goals for the city of Dunedin. There are 6 epic goals. The first goal is to create a vibrant cultural experience that touches the lives of our community and visitors. The objectives of this goal are to preserve and promote Dunedin's history and cultural heritage, foster and support a variety of events and activities across the city geographically, create opportunities for lifelong learning, and strengthen performing and visual arts.
I can think of a few programs and organizations that contribute greatly to meet these goals. Dunedin TV and Dunedin Film Festival are 2 organizations that strengthen the performing and visual arts in Dunedin. So the second epic goal is to create a visual sense of place throughout Dunedin. The objectives for this goal are to create a cohesive transportation system throughout Dunedin using the multitudes of transportation methods, create vibrant neighborhoods throughout the city, identify and enhance commercial corridors according to the theme of the area, and promote the Pinellas Trail in Dunedin as a premier recreational asset.
I know I regularly use the Pinellas Trail for both getting to work and for, just for entertainment and exercise. Did you know that Dunedin is one of the test cities for a self-driving public transportation system, and they were also a trail city? All right, so the third epic goal is to promote Dunedin as a premier coastal community, protecting and improving our natural resources for the enjoyment of all. The city will encourage and support implementation of quality of life efforts along the Dunedin Causeway to identify opportunities for responsible public access to the waterfront, expand nature education and appreciation through various displays, tours, and outreach programs, and leverage Stormwater Master Plan update recommendations to implement these projects which affect and protect our coastal community.
Honeymoon Island ranks as one of the top 10 beaches in the world. So that's really nice. I used to work there. That has a lot to do with the community's commitment to keeping our coastlines clean. Beach cleanups happen so often during the summertime. The fourth epic goal is for Dunedin to be the statewide model for environmental sustainability stewardship.
The objective is to become the model steward for the city's physical and environmental stability, support and enhance a clean, healthy environment, establish environmental sustainability as an essential and mutually supportive element of livability, and to preserve, promote, and enhance our natural environment. The preservation of Hammock Park and the Gladys Douglas property are perfect examples of improving our natural habitats. They allow for passive recreation for citizens and visitors. Natural land preservation and protection is one of the best ways to promote a sustainable future. Organizations like Blue-Green Connections will be essential for the future planning of citywide sustainability. This epic goal gives Dunedin hope for the future. The fifth epic goal is to enhance community relationship strategies that strengthen inclusiveness, respect, transparency, and collaborative engagement. The objective of this goal is to include opportunity for community engagement, volunteerism, and public-private partnerships to make Dunedin a place where people of any generation, cultural, or social economic background feel welcome. Seek and maintain public safety by the fire department and promote partnerships between citizens and law enforcement, foster an appreciation for public service and customer service throughout the city, continue to develop open, two-way communication between the government and the citizenry, and create an atmosphere of civility within the community throughout communications, transparency, and mutual respect.
I know here in Dunedin, our city leaders are only one email away. Whenever I have a concern, I can reach out to the City Commission, and I generally get a response within the same day. The sixth and final epic goal is that the City of Dunedin, as a premier employer, shall foster a diverse and highly engaged workforce through employee recruitment and attraction, workforce retention, and employee development and inclusion. The objectives are to develop and implement workforce initiatives that establish the city as an employer of choice, celebrate the diversity of all employees, and foster a culture of inclusion and belonging, and encourage employee professional development and provide for effective succession planning and career pathing. Our City Commission is majority led by women with a 3-to-2 ratio.
Now, I feel honored to have worked for the city for almost 10 years, and working with the city and Dunedin TV has really developed my professional career in ways that I never thought possible.
We are going to take a quick break. Enjoy this message from the City of Dunedin. When we return, Commissioner Moe Freaney will be in the studio with Justin to talk about the history of the Dunedin City Hall.
Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Greg Bryant. Question for you. How well do you know your elected officials?
And so just civics was giving back, getting involved, providing service. It was kind of...
Coffee with the Commission.
Welcome back to this special episode of Good Morning Dunedin, where we're talking all about City Hall. I'm your host, Justin Gattaccio, and I'm here with Commissioner Moe Freaney. Welcome to the show, Commissioner Freaney.
Thanks, Justin. Thanks for having me, and good morning, Dunedin.
So, Mo, can you please tell us a little bit about the history of Dunedin City Hall and perhaps how it used to be the library?
It did. Actually, that does predate me, but it was built in, I think, around 1963. Library moved in around 1964, and then the library stayed here. Of course, it was reading in the round, and pretty cool. And then I think around 1976, the library needed more space, so they moved out to where its current location, although it was a big plaza at that time. And they moved into that, and then this became City Hall. And then, a young kid out of college around 1984 entered in and started working here, and that was me. So.
How did you become involved and interested in local city government?
You know, my undergrad degree was criminal justice studies. So and I started out my career doing some work with juvenile delinquents. And but when I came here, I had gotten my master's in business administration. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and there was probably the only opening of management analyst with budget that made sense, and I happened into it and fell in love with Dunedin, and here I am. So
it's not hard to fall in love with Dunedin.
It is not hard to fall in love with Dunedin. But I think one of the biggest ones I remember is basically this studio right here, because I was assistant manager and was given the task to start a Dunedin 15, to get the expertise to do a Dunedin 15 television station. And we did, and of course, here you are. I used to do a show called the Dunedin Roundtable.
The Roundtable.
And I hired the first ever person that ran the department, Jack Martin, who was awesome, and he was the right guy. And yeah, so a lot of memories, even right here in this studio.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a second. Gus Cooper,
yes,
was a longtime volunteer and sort of host of a lot of Dunedin TV. He started the Spotlight on Dunedin, which is in its like 500th episode, which we still keep alive. Gus Cooper worked with Jack Martin, and they created this Gus Cooper studio that we are in right now, and you had your show, The Roundtable. Let's take a quick look at some history of The Roundtable, some old footage.
The people of the city of Dunedin are at work every day around the clock, helping to make our city more delightful. With insight into how your government works, how we get the job done, and how we spend your money, this is City Roundtable. Today's discussion is moderated by Assistant City Manager Maureen Freaney.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Roundtable, where we talk about key issues that are facing the city of Dunedin. So much fun to do it, and it was fun to watch it later. Yeah.
So we've come a long way, and Dunedin TV is still going. We're on it right now.
And Justin, I just want to highlight Gus Cooper.
Yes, please.
And I appreciate your saying his name. I actually just said something to the city manager that when we have a new city hall, how important it is to have that studio continue to be named, because he was just a pioneer for us. He'd come out of, he was had a great background, and he was passionate.
Welcome to Focus on Dunedin. This is a milestone for us today because this is the 201st program in this series, which began in the fall of 1983. We're going to the year-long controversy about whether the police department should be disbanded and police services be provided by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. My name is Gus Cooper, and I am your host moderator for today. A month or so ago, we visited with Mayor Tom Anderson and Sheriff Everett Rice, and they talked about what they call. Several weeks ago, a good friend of mine, Bud Voiland, who is well known for his activities at City Hall and throughout the community, asked me if he could be my guest on Focus on Dunedin. And of course I told Bud Voiland that anything that we could do to help him and his activities, we would do.
Your streets, your recreation, you have your
but is there any suggestion here that this is an emergency fund? Is it?
They'll lay out our money up front.
That was what I've always heard about Gus Cooper. He unfortunately passed away right before I started, and I never was able to meet him, but he sounds like a great man. Very Dunedin.
Yes, he was a guy with passion, and look where it leads. Right, that's Dunedin.
So as you know, the city's making plans for a new city hall. What do you hope to see for this building, particularly when the city hall moves to Loudon Avenue?
Well, I'm not really kind of married to any one concept. I think when the commission talked about it maybe 3 years ago, so that's very dated, it was talked about it being green space. Right. Which green space is great, but I think there's also some interest in it being some other things, potentially arts and culture type of a spot. and performing arts, that kind of thing. And I'm not married to any one idea. I don't know how structurally good the building is. It certainly doesn't look very good right now. It needs work, but not married to one issue. I think it's just something the commission will, look towards after we get past kind of the important stuff of the new building. So.
Right. So let's stay on the new building for a moment.
Yes.
So one of the things about the new building is that it's going to bring all the departments together. Right now they're over at the community center, the Martin Luther King Recreation Center. They're here. They're 1415 Pinehurst, where we're renting a space, and it's just not sustainable. And so we've decided that, we're going to try to go forward with the City Hall design that we all have, I'm sure, heard about. We went with the wave design, and tell us your view on the new City Hall.
I have a lot of views on this. I'll try to control it. Because I have the history. I worked in 2 of the 3 buildings, and obviously didn't have offices in the 3rd one, but worked a lot there. And so I know the Municipal Services building on Milwaukee was obsolete from the day I started. Mm-hmm. And I always said it was like if you could do a Saturday Night Live spoof where you showed all the walls, how many times they got moved and done differently, because it was never really a good building in the sense of it had been obsolete. This building became obsolete. The other building was done with grant money, and there were always issues with it. And of course, those 2 buildings have now been, torn down. Mm-hmm. But no, when I started as a young person here in City Hall, I worked with 9 people, and so everything else was scattered. And so you just lose a lot of synergy from that. You lose a lot of ability, I think, for customer service with that.
That's really a big one.
And so when I left in 2006 to go work for the county, we've been talking about it for 10 years, how badly we needed to bring together these buildings that were obsolete and put everybody together. But what happened was, and it was the right thing to do, but 1996 was the library was a priority first. And I think 2002 was the Hale Center was a priority first. And then in 2004, the Sterling, which became Martin Luther King Center, was done. And in 2006, the community center was a priority and had to be. So all the public facing stuff got done. And finally, after, 25 years, it's time. It's time. And there were 2 years of input on the design, and I know there's still some mixed feeling about the design, but there were 2 years of input, and we were up to 7 options at one point. And to me, the input's been taken, and the only consideration we have to do now is make sure we do our due diligence on the effects of COVID and how the circulation system's done, or if that in any way changes anything in the actual design of the building. So. It's so past time. The employees have been very patient to be the last on the list. And I just reiterate this. We have to remember, too, the sheriff actually moved out of one of those buildings because of mold problems, which was always an issue with the 1 2-story building. There were always issues with circulation. So it's time, and bringing people together, I think we'll have some amazing customer service benefits. And we want a building that we can be proud of, because Dunedin is a great spot.
It is. And I know, working here at the front of City Hall for a decade now, that almost 90% of the people who come into City Hall are looking for a service that we're not providing here at City Hall. So I got to send them over to another building. And it's just, I feel bad every time I have to do that when people go to City Hall expecting to get the service they need, even just to pay their water bill. And it's like, no, sorry, you got to go here, you got to go there.
At some point, we still want to have our TLC customer service. We just need to make sure that we model that correctly. And I think this gives us a great opportunity for that.
Yeah, with the new City Hall, we're going to have the one-stop shop.
You bet.
So.
You bet.
All right, so let's see. So it's been a pleasure having you on the show this morning. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience?
No, I just, I've been a staffer here. I'm now a commissioner here. It's a wonderful city. I see how it incrementally continues to get better and better. But the number one reason is because we have citizens of passion. They care deeply. We see that on many issues, but that's what makes Dunedin Dunedin. So I appreciate you having me.
And just speaking of passion and commitment, your commitment and passion for the city of Dunedin is breathtaking. I see you every week up there on the dais, and you just, from the heart. and we really appreciate your hard work.
It is 100% a labor of love. Dunedin's my happy place, as I bought the sign in downtown Dunedin. So.
Again, thank you, Mo. I appreciate you coming on the show this morning.
Thank you, Justin. Appreciate you having me, and good morning, Dunedin.
Did you know that the City Commission meetings are open to the public, where you can voice your community praise and concerns from the Dunedin City Hall Chamber podium? We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Good Morning Dunedin. Did you know you can come to any City Commission meeting to share your voice? Commission meetings are the first and third weeks every month, Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. and Thursday nights at 6 p.m. They are open to the public for you to voice your concerns. You can also attend on Zoom or call in to hear the meeting. Let's catch up with Justin from the City Hall Chamber.
Thanks, Caitlin. All right, so we are here in the Dunedin City Commission Chamber. Right here is the podium where you give your citizen input. Over here is a staff table where staff presents for Dunedin TV as well as for the Commission. Along this wall, we've got our Dunedin mayors through the years. Some of my old mayor bosses here, Bob Hackworth and Dave Eggers. Another mayor I'd like to point out, we got two female mayors here. I like Mary Bonner. She's got that Dunedin tartan over her shoulder. I really like that. So up here is the dais. We got the clerk on this end and the commissioners and the mayor. Also the commissioners is separated by these plexiglass walls so that they don't have to wear masks. We also, Dunedin TV is patched into the chamber so we can do presentations and show the public who's in the chamber what the staff is presenting on these monitors here. Along this wall, we've got our rotating art exhibit. Right now, we've got Stoney Lawrentz. Stoney Lawrentz is actually our Art Corner guest this week. So let's take a minute and step into the Art Corner.
Hi, my name is Stoney Lawrentz, and I am a local artographer. What is an artographer? I take photography and put an artsy spin on it. I have been involved in art most of my life, but the photography came a few years ago, about 5 years now. I've been fully invested in photography and recently video even. I was asked to show at City Hall by Mary Childs, and she had come through our gallery one day and noticed my artwork, and that's what started the relationship. And I was fortunate enough to be able to show at City Hall. It's been a great honor to do so.
Birds seem to be a big portion of your art. Why is that?
I have just always had an attraction to crows, ravens, darker birds, vultures. I think there's a beauty in them that not everybody sees, and so I try to put a different light on them so people can, see the animal itself and maybe give them a second look, a second chance. They're not as scary as sometimes people think, and I try to draw out and show, give people an idea of what I see when I look at these birds or different places.
You have a fantastic use of color, and you seem to highlight a lot of darker, shadowy figures with very vibrant shapes.
I think that just has come out to to highlight the birds, to highlight the subject, since they are considered a darker theme generally. It's nice to see that little bit of light around them, and it'll help you pull into the subject and see the bird itself. I definitely have a tendency to stop on the side of the road or have somebody in the car attempt to, you know, open a window or something in case we needed to take a picture. Not while driving, of course, but I do enjoy the solo quiet times of going to parks and not necessarily waiting for something to happen, but just taking in the experience and seeing what happens. I think art is very important. I think whether you're creating it, interacting with it, or just viewing it, it can pull people together, all ages, all ethnicities, all different types of people can look at art and pull something from it. I think it's calming. I think it gives a sense of escape, especially in this day and time. I think it's needed to help, you know, as a release for people, and that could be either viewing it or as creating it. I am the current president here at the Sterling Art Studios and Gallery. We have 10 working studios. Each studio is different. We have great artists up here, all different mediums. Another great thing about Sterling Art Gallery is each month we have different art exhibits. They can feature local artist groups, or even solo shows. And we also have the Penny Lane Beatles Museum, which is located inside our gallery, which is nice because we get people that come up that never realized that we were here in Dunedin, and we find that they come back time and time again. They tell their friends, and it's a hidden gem here in Dunedin. What helped me to start out in this community, which is so wonderful, there's so much talent and culture just in this area. There's a lot of art groups that people may not have heard about, and I found the Creative Artists Guild, which is a local Dunedin art guild, and I learned so much from joining the guild. Networking, just expanding my own photography skills, blending it with other mediums, just the feedback from others, the be able to create with others. It's very helpful, I think, to find like-minded people. And in this area, like I said, we are very fortunate because it's such a creative area, all of Pinellas County, all of Tampa Bay. If you are interested in getting into the arts, any medium, any skill level, I would suggest definitely reaching out to one of the art clubs or guilds in the area. It helped me quite a bit. Art is on the rise here in Dunedin, and I think we should all go along for the ride. Good morning, Dunedin.
Welcome back to this special City Hall episode of Good Morning Dunedin. Before we hear our musical guest, Ray Gurka, I wanted to thank Commissioner Moe Freaney for joining us here on the show today, and Stoney Lawrentz for her beautiful artwork, and of course you, wherever you are, for tuning in this morning. You can reach out to us on social media to share your story and your birthdays. Please remember to be kind to one another and stay safe out there. Caitlin?
Good morning, Dunedin.
This is a original song that I wrote and soon to be recorded. The song's called Payday. lots of money. We'll buy the sky and never ask why. We'll buy all the Sundays and throw back the Mondays. Every day's a new day, treated like a payday. We'll feed the hungry and clothe the poor. We'll wipe out cancer till there is no more. We'll clean all the oceans, clean all the air, and fill the days with love and care. So come on, honey, let's make lots of money. We'll buy the sky and never ask why. We'll buy all the Sundays and throw back the Mondays. Every day's a new day, treated like a payday. Stop all the fighting, stop all the wars. Stop all the hatred, there's no more. Stop all the violence and bring all the peace. Lord above, we pay for thee. So come on, honey, let's make lots of money. We'll buy the sky and never ask why. We'll buy all the Sundays and throw back the Mondays. And every day's a new day, treated like a payday. And every day's a new day, don't let it slip away. Thank you.